Hello and welcome to another episode of the Uncommon Energy Podcast. On this week's episode, we're going to talk about open deck lists officially coming to competitive Pokemon trading card game events. We'll talk about the implications and where those will be used in the tournament. We'll talk about that in this episode. We will also talk about a bunch of new cards that were revealed. And most interestingly, some brand new owners Pokemon being released in an upcoming Japanese set, which we'll get it in English at some point. We will of course have guess that flavor text, everyone's favorite segment of the podcast. And then we're going to wrap up this week by talking about the Las Vegas regional championships that are happening this coming weekend. There's also the Buenos Aires special event happening down in Argentina. So tons of really cool events happening. And yeah, very much looking forward to the results from those. We'll give our thoughts kind of on the current format, all the top decks, and make some predictions as we always do. And then, of course, we are going to wrap things up over on our bonus episode exclusive to our YouTube channel members and Spotify subscribers. My name is Chip Ritchie, joined here as always by my friend and co-host
Okay,
Azul
hold on.
GG.
I did think of last week we said we were gonna do a set review of the Phantasmal Flames this week because it does release this week. Are we still doing that?
I don't think so. I think we have
Okay.
enough other stuff to talk about. Did we mention that on the podcast last week that we
No,
were
no,
going to do
no,
that?
no, no, no. But I remembered we talked about it, so I was like, wait, do we still want to do that?
No.
All
My name
right.
is Chip Ritchie, joined here as always by my friend and co-host Azul GG. What's up, Azul? How you doing this week, buddy?
I'm doing good.
I'm leaving all that in here, by the way.
Yeah, that's I assumed as soon as you continued on with what you just said. But I just remembered we had talked about it last week. But there'll be
Yeah.
plenty to talk about Phantasmal Flames next week after the set releases. While you were like going through all of that as well, I was like making sure. I was like, I just want to make sure
We
there
didn't forget anything.
wasn't any other tournaments going on. Actually, I think there is maybe a tournament going on in Taiwan. And I usually check PokeStats to check that stuff, but there's nothing. Oh, there's one in Singapore, actually. I think there's a couple Premier Ball, Ultra Ball League things happening, but those things are so hard for us to keep track of and know for sure when they're happening. But um, yeah,
Those are just
my
also a
week.
lot smaller tournaments than like when they get to their uh like Master Ball leagues at the end of the season, right? It's like, I mean, they're
Well,
still big tournaments, but
The Premier Ball things I think are literally like equivalent. They might be a little bit bigger at the end of the season, but they're basically they have two big tournaments. I think it's like the Premier Balls and the what's the one you just said?
Master
Master
Ball.
Balls. The Ultra Ball ones I think are smaller.
Okay.
I'm actually not
I
100%
might be
sure.
getting them conflated with the
Yeah.
Ultra Ball.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I just need someone to I need to talk to someone who like plays over there to get the full breakdown of their whole system just to know it. Cause like I remember we went through that a couple seasons ago with like Japan. Someone sent me like a DM with like the full breakdown of everything. I think it was actually Tuan. So it'd just be good to know, to be honest. But yeah, my week I did a show match on Friday between Henry Chow and Emma Hagen, Flareon versus Gardevoir. So that was fun to do. I'm not gonna spoil the results. If you want to go watch it, it's up on my YouTube channel. So you can go check that out. And then I did something over this weekend, but now I completely
You should put
forgot
like a content warning over that though, for sure.
over what.
The never mind.
Well, to not spoiling the results. So I did that. What did I do over this week? I thought I did something this weekend I was going to mention, but I can't remember. Oh, I did win. Oh, I played an online tournament the same day. I did win an online tournament, the Doom tournament, which is I think the biggest regular online tournament that happens. I know whenever Smart runs a tournament, he's always get a lot of. He's one of the few tournaments with cash prizing, which is cool to see. And he had like a 700, 800 person tournament. I played in that. I did not go as well in that tournament. I played Zorark, but I was able to take down the Doom tournament, which was cool with Sarah Ledge, with Drillbur, with no Carmine because Drillbur's good, Carmine sucks, and Sarah Ledge I just think is pretty good. I wanted to it was one of those situations where I was like, man, and I'm not saying this proves Sarah Ledge is good or anything like that. It's just an online tournament, like it's not that big of a deal, whatever. But it was cool to see people tweeting at me saying that they played the deck, won some league challenges or whatever. So shout out to everyone else who was keeping the Sarah Ledge alive and getting dubs with the Drillbur. But this was one of those things in the metagame where it's like I'm not that invested in Sarah Ledge. Like if I was going to Vegas this weekend, I'd be playing Charizard. But I was like, I feel like Sarah Ledge is good. It's like I'm gonna play it in this online tournament because I just want to like prove it's good because I feel like it's good. But, like, maybe I'll just play it in this tournament here, and I'll just feel terrible. But the deck felt pretty good. I think the deck is pretty good. I think there's still some more adaptations to make to the build I played as well. So, yeah, I think the deck is good. I just think good players don't play it, so it's gonna always struggle on the major tournament side of things. And this is one of those decks. Honestly, it's just kind of decks like this, like Raging Ball. If you misplay with this deck, you get punished so much harder than if you make a mistake with Dragapult or Gardevoir. Those decks are so much more forgiving in terms of like a single error. A single error with Sarah Ledge is just so much more punishing. So that is going to always hurt its potential to do well in major tournaments. On top of like the best players in the game, definitely are not picking up Sarah Ledge this weekend headed into Vegas. So but that was cool. Got my new computer set up, which was nice. Got that all set up, ready to go. Definitely seen an improvement in my streaming quality through OBS. And it's going to open up new opportunities for me to like stream to more places and stuff like that. So excited to do that with the content. And yeah, I think that's all I did this week. I mean, we got Vegas coming up. I'm going to be watch party in Vegas. We got the new set release on Thursday. I'm going to be doing a 12-hour stream on my live stream with Phantasmal Flames releasing, giving away a booster box as well. So make sure you come out for the 12-hour stream on Thursday. And yeah, that's kind of been Pokemon for me the last week or so. And I
Busy
just
times,
realized,
buddy.
yeah, and LAIC is literally coming up the next weekend, the first IC of the season. So that's going to be exciting. But what about you, Chip? What have you been up to this past week?
Yeah, not crazy amount going on. I went to a pre-release this past week, so that was fun.
Ooh,
I hadn't played one. I guess what was the last one I played? Surging Sparks a year ago, I guess, was maybe the last pre-release I had gotten out to. So that was a good time. Just some casual Pokemon. I opened up the Sarah Ledge kit. Speaking of Sarah Ledge, it's a little bit different, but that deck was so funny because I pulled 2 Charcadet from my packs, and it has a
ooh,
4/4 Ceruledge line, and so I just cut 2 cards, and I played 6 Charcadet, a 6/2 Ceruledge. I really probably should have put some extra basic fire energies in there, to be honest, but,
yeah.
um,
Also, yeah, what I was going to ask is it's the one that where you have to discard four to do what, 220,
yes,
240 or something like that?
220, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, I mean, that was fun, just some casual poke and, um I didn't get anything really cool from my packs of the new set, except in my some stores will like do like an actual tournament for the pre-release and they give like more packs to the people who do better. And then some stores just do 3 rounds and then give everyone 3 packs. And I think that's kind of like
Yeah.
what the intended thing for pre-releases usually is, but some stores just do it differently. I kind of like it whenever there's more prizing. It gives you a little something to play for and compete for. But
Definitely, yeah.
um uh, they did the 3 rounds, and then we got the 3 packs, and in my bonus pack, I opened up a Mega Lopunny and 2 Baneri. So if I had gotten that in my kit, I would have been able to play like a 2/1 Lopunny, and that would have been so sick, but no, it's we don't get to have fun things. I pulled a Empoleon from my packs and 2 Primplup,
No
but no
Piplup?
Piplups, no Piplups.
So
Many such
close.
cases.
It's funny that you got this Sarah Ledge kit because someone in my chat said that if you pull the Sarah Ledge deck, just go home because it's so bad. But I was
I thought
gonna,
that
how
deck
did you
seemed
feel?
sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you feel about it compared to what everyone else had available
I
to
mean, I
them?
played against one person. I think I played 2 mirrors and then one person who had the Zacian Alcremie deck. Um, I don't know. I mean, it felt pretty good to me. I was
Yeah,
able to I mean, you have to kind of manage the
energy,
turns pretty
right?
wisely of like how you pull your energy out of the deck, like the Charcadet's attack as well. Like,
Oh yeah, the new Charcadet's pretty good.
yeah, it is pretty good for that, especially. But I remember like there was I don't know.
Yeah, it seems pretty good to me. You just have to like time your attacks right. You just don't want to overextend, like KO like the
Yes.
active with no energy on it. When
And
discard four energy to KO it.
I actually had a situation where I could have KO'd my opponent's Pokemon, but they had it was like a Charcadet mirror, and they had benched a Charcadet the last turn. And I was like, well, I could KO this one. Their active was like a non-Charcadet. I was like, I could KO this, but then they're just gonna KO me. So I'm just gonna pull 2 more energy out of the deck. And then
Yep,
they went
set
and
up for the
KO'd me, and then
response.
I KO'd their own Sarah Ledge, their only Sarah Ledge, and then I just won the game, you know. So it's like
Yeah.
just because you can't attack, you don't have to. It's like it's like basic Pokemon TCG strategy, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Posturing for the expending your resources to KO something that has no resources invested is not always
yeah.
worth it. And that is one of those things actually like where that doesn't come up that often, and I feel like in the back and forth in gameplay. Usually just taking a knockout, like 90% of the time in the standard format for a while now, taking the KO is just always better.
It's
Um,
kind of funny when you do some limited formats like that, how you'll experience more of those type of things. Like,
yeah.
it feels kind of like more honest Pokemon almost. You know,
Yeah, you have less
it's just different.
yeah. Your deck can't do as much as consistently, right? Like
Yeah,
you attack with Golden Go this turn, you're gonna be able to attack with Golden Go next turn. You're not worried about that.
yeah. Well, enough about my pre-release tournament report here. Let's get into the actual meat of the episode here, and we'll start off with our first topic, which is going to be open deck lists coming to Pokemon TCG events. It seems like starting in 2026 because registration did go live for the or was posted. It's not live yet for Toronto regionals, right? And
Yeah.
one of the things with
It
open deck
actually goes
lists,
it goes live today, or the
the day
12th.
this episode comes out, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So anyone who's listening to
Um,
this, look out for it if you're trying to register.
But one of the things in the tournament handbook, when it talks about this open deck lists being a thing, it says that it will be known when registering. And now it says that on the Arcanine page that this tournament will um,
Have the open deck
use
list.
open deck lists for asymmetrical top cut. So that's basically what it's going to be. Players are going to get handed their opponent's deck list during the setup process only in top cut matches. It's not going to be for the entire tournament. It's not going to be for just day two. It's going to be during asymmetrical top cuts.
Yeah. Yeah, and that would actually be interesting. Yeah, because I mean, what they talked about previously would be like they would do it at like the next phase of the tournament. So if they're going to do it for they could do it for phase one, or they do it going to phase two, or they would do it going into asymmetrical cut, which is basically phase three of the tournament. So in the first, and I guess this kind of like makes sense. They could go further than this, right? And I assume this is going to be like well, is there any other tournaments to register before? No, like this is it, right? Like there's nothing else that you could register for before Toronto, right? I don't think so,
Not
anyways.
in the US.
Yeah, I don't think anywhere because like
I don't think either.
there's basically nothing in December. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
Toronto's next up.
yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, yeah, Birmingham is literally the week after Toronto, so the registration for that should be coming up pretty soon. So we'll see if this is going to be every major tournament moving forward, or maybe Toronto is a testing grounds. Although I don't know what they really have to test for this. To be honest, it seems like it should just be a do it or don't do it kind of thing. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's like a thing where they made the plan and it's like, okay, starting this calendar year, we're going to start doing this.
yeah,
And that would make sense because this tournament is the first one of the year, right?
yeah, and like I think we both agree on this. We think this. I think this is a good thing for asymmetrical cut. I think we differ like past that. Like I think you would like to see it expanded further. I could see an
It
argument for phase two personally, but
I'm not it's not like something I would personally advocate or push for. I don't have
yeah.
incredibly strong feelings about it, but I do think it does we just disagree on
Oh, if it
when it
favors the better player, right? Yeah, that's
yes, if
like
it
that.
favors the
That's
better player.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, not even whether so much you want it or don't want it, but you think it favors the better player. I think it doesn't. But yeah, I think for asymmetrical cut, it makes sense. Like this is something I would have personally pushed for. Is like asymmetrical cut probably should be open deck list. A lot of the players have been on stream at that point, but some of them maybe haven't. So there is, and at that point in the tournament, it would be pretty easy to definitely know the gist of their deck, if not know the full 60 cards.
Yep.
So it's definitely good that I think moving forward, asymmetrical cut is open deck list. If they do expand it further past that, I actually wanted to bring up point to. I was actually going to mention this like last week or the week before, but like one of the downsides of just open deck lists expanded passes, but even into this situation is situations where like Piper played one Reshiram in her Zoroark at Lil, I believe. And
Yeah.
I guarantee all of Piper's opponents assumed she had two Zoroark in her or two Reshiram in her Zoroark deck the whole time. So like that is like she got to basically play plus one card in her deck. Obviously, she was taking the risk of if she prizes her only Reshiram, you don't have access to Reshiram, which is pretty bad. She'd have the Darmanitan in there, so she'd have something to work with. But she took that risk, and any games where it wasn't prized or it didn't matter that it was prized, almost all of her opponents were going to play as if she had two Reshiram, which is just like an advantage she created by how she deck built. And she'll like even all the way up to the finals. I wouldn't be surprised if the opponent just thought she had two Reshiram, right? Um, so that's like an advantage players will lose, or the ability to create that advantage is something players are going to lose moving forward, going into asymmetrical cuts potentially. But I think it's worth the trade off for kind of competitive integrity purposes.
Well, let's just read through exactly how this is going to work so we get it all out there. In the rulebook here, 3.3.1 deck list preview, it says competitors will be provided with a printed copy of their own deck list. This list includes all the cards present in their deck. This list must be provided to the competitor's opponent at the start of the match. Deck lists should be exchanged and reviewed while players randomize their decks for the first game of the match. This preview and all actions taken to set up for the first game must be completed within the 2 minutes outlined for game start in section 7.4.5 of the tournament handbook. Pl- Players may not take notes while reviewing their opponent's deck list. If a competitor does not understand or recognize a card, they should call a judge immediately for assistance.
Are they going to introduce like automatic shuffling machines then too? Because how are you supposed to randomize your deck while you're looking at the deck list here?
Like this.
Like that?
Yes, just like this.
No, I think it's. I mean, yeah, you can definitely like lay it on the table and look at it as you're shuffling, of course. But
It is kind
um,
of it's kind
funny
of a lot to
wording.
try to juggle, but also pretty
Yeah,
often,
I
especially
mean,
if
I
you get to
think.
if you and your opponent both get to the table early, it's not uncommon for you to like shuffle, 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 be ready to go. And then it's like while you're both sitting there and like everyone else is still getting there, I feel like you can kind of just
Oh,
sit
I
there
think
and
they'll
look
be
at the deck
okay
lists,
if. I think they'll be okay if you just like pick up the deck list, look at it for like a minute, and then go to shuffling and start the match, right? Like I think they'll be okay with that.
Just keep it within 2 minutes. And that's like a
Yeah.
general outline that's outlined in the handbook, right?
Yeah, and for any like this is what they do in VGC for anyone who doesn't know. Like they literally do this for every match, not just asymmetrical cut. From round one on, they show up, pass the opponent the team
Now,
sheet, and then go from there.
do you know what the I don't even know if I should say this, honestly.
Well, it's too late now.
It's not too late. Do you know what the OP strategy for this is going to be?
No.
It is to have unique artworks of every single possible card. So when it shows up on the printed deck list, it'll be like if you're playing Sarah Ledge, you'll have one regular Sarah Ledge, then you have
Is that
one
how it'll
full art
look?
Sarah Ledge.
Is that how it
Actually, I
lines
don't
up on
know for
RK9?
sure, but that's
Actually, no, I
how
think it does. Look, that's how it looks on RK9.
like
I
if
assume
you go to
that's
submit your deck, yeah, that's like how it
yeah.
shows your
So
list.
if they run out of time, they're cooked, or it'll be like more things to like piece together. It's like okay, it is
It
two
makes it
Corellia.
harder for your
It is
opponent.
3 rolls, yeah. And it could make it easier for you to price check as well, different artworks. Actually, that would be kind of annoying to price check 3 different Ralts artworks or something like that would be
It would be annoying for you, but is that
yeah,
advantage worth it?
this is the meta.
Is
The
that the meta?
competitors will always find a way as long as there's not a rule
They
against
will
it,
always find a way.
you know? Pushing the competition to its highest level. Honestly, and there's someone out there who's probably like, "They made this rule change so more people would buy more packs trying to open different artworks of cards."
They're just trying to sell us more cards, of
Yeah,
course.
they're just trying to sell us more cards. There's no way we'd go to the secondary market to buy the singles. We're sitting there cracking packs.
But like even like if you're playing Dragapult, you can have one regular Dragapult
Yep.
from Twilight, and then you can have one Dragapult EX from Prismatic Evolutions. It's printed in two sets. That's
Yeah.
two different lines.
Ooh.
And then you can have the full art one, and that's a third different line.
Or there's like the new one coming out in the Dragon set, right? I think.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, in the January set. Okay, okay. Got some different options. And
And
then
now
yeah, one
they have to manually count. Okay, they play three Dragapult EX.
yeah, yeah. And then they run out of time and they're only through the Pokemon at that point. They don't know your trainers, they don't know your energy count. They're
You
cooked.
can play the Duskull's been printed in two sets. Like they don't know how many Duskull you play
Yeah.
unless
This
they sit there
is
and count.
Chip, you got to get back to competing, man. You
This
got all these strategies. Who knows how
Hey,
deep the playbook
I'll play
goes?
in one tournament this year. I
Okay,
don't think I'm
okay.
gonna do this strategy though.
What you mean this year or this season? Because you won't be able to do it. You won't be able to apply this strategy this
this
year.
this season. This season.
Okay, okay. But yeah, I think for asymmetrical cut, I think it's a good thing. The only thing they're missing now, I think at this point, for to like make the top cut rules perfect, is higher seed should get to pick first or second, and then I think we've done it. But we're close. We're very close. Once they add that in, I think we'll basically have the perfect top cut rules. And then whether or not, I think the only argument at that point is should we have asymmetrical cut over +1 Swiss round? I kind of like asymm cut though. I'm kind of a fan of it now that they brought that extra Swiss round back to us this season. So we're close. A good change, positive change.
Definitely an interesting one, and I'm sure, as it gets implemented, we'll kinda hear people's thoughts on it, through the process. It'll be something else for us to talk about during setup on stream and stuff as well, what players maybe are looking out for in deck lists and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, cool to see a change, and we'll see kind of what impact it ends up having. It does affect a pretty small percentage of the player base, but
Yeah, of course. Now you can like not hold back on someone misplaying. It's like, well, they don't know for sure they play that card, so I guess them making this play is like reasonable. It's
it
like,
is a
nope, they
whole
just threw.
but it
Like,
is like think about how often in an online tournament, like you just won an online tournament, right? How often I mean, you've got your opponent's deck list up on your second monitor. How often are you referencing that deck list, right? It's like
I
constant
miss
throughout the
stuff.
game.
Yeah, I definitely miss stuff all the time. But like, I'm not super locked in. Like, if I was in an
Right, right,
IRL
right.
tournament and you'd like have certain like, there's only so many counts you need to know. It's like how many switch cards, how many bosses orders, stuff like that are like the big ones.
But when it's in a
Um,
list format and then they're like all the trainers are listed as like especially when you get out into like the tech one ofs and stuff like that, it's like harder to identify.
Maybe we could have them
Um
printed out with images. Maybe that we could, because there is like an image decklist version on RK9 even, where you see the image with the card count. So maybe we could just have them print that out.
yeah,
Make it a
maybe.
lot easier. And I would hope that they also, to avoid your strategy, they do have like a simplified version of the decklist that like forces it to be
Well,
the base
that
artwork.
the thing I'm talking about only happens for Pokemon. If you submit different artworks for trainers, they like all combine. Like if you tried to submit four
Oh,
different
it
professors'
does? Oh,
researches, it
okay.
would group them together.
Okay, so it just needs to be applied to Pokemon then.
It's
Okay.
only for the Pokemon, yeah.
I thought the trainers were the same, so
No,
not as big
that
of a
would
deal.
be truly a nightmare, and that would also make your deck list like that would also make your deck list like 3 pages probably.
Yeah, they roll up with a stack, bro, and they're just like, "Alright, there you go."
Yeah. All right. Well, next announcement, next thing happening in the space. There's a few new cards revealed since our last episode that we're going to talk about. Um, First up, there is some cards coming out in these start deck 100. Now, this is actually a really cool product that they do over in Japan. Super simple starter theme decks. Not even theme decks, I guess, just like literally starter decks that you can get. They literally the packaging is just like this small box that is the size of Pokemon cards, and it has 60 cards in it, and then like small little rules sheet. And I think it costs like the equivalent of $5.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, here, yeah, 891 yen, which is like $5 or something like that. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's just like it hangs on the like at a checkout aisle or something like that. Super easy way for people to just pick up a Pokemon deck and start learning the game. Really cool product. I've always been a fan of this. They've done it for a few years now.
Yeah, definitely cool, and it's how they're introducing some new cards, which I think they've done every time. It's never been just like a reprint set, has it?
I think
It's
there's
always new
always
stuff?
some unique cards, yeah, but I don't
Okay.
remember for sure. There is definitely plenty of um reprints. Like here you see Teal Mask
Yeah.
Ogerpon featured. We see Melodic EX, right? These are all reprint cards. We see Excadrill EX, which is a card that exists. But there's some new stuff here. Mega Charizard, which got revealed, we'll talk about. You also see up in the corner here, there's a Mega Audino. So Mega Audino getting another card. That is a world champion Pokemon right there.
It is.
Um, and there's a handful of pretty interesting new cards here. I guess really just two. But first one, Mega Charizard YEX. 360 HP, fire type Pokemon, Plosion Y. Discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 280 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon.
Yeah, so we're gonna be able to make a Charizard X Charizard Y deck with this one. So Charizard's gonna have a little bit more firepower, even once we lose Charizard EX. And this definitely adds like a lot more depth to a potential Charizard X deck. Whereas like Charizard X is still probably your main guy, but having the backup of Charizard Y is
I
not
mean,
bad.
that is a lot of damage to
Yeah.
be putting anywhere on the board, like actually insane. Yeah, like my take is not that like this card is not it's obviously very expensive. It's a stage 2, right? It
Yep.
costs 3 energy. But as like a closer to chase something, um
Not bad.
This card does not seem bad for sure.
Yeah, definitely not.
And then a card that seems really, really good is Pokepad here. Item card. Search your deck for a Pokemon without a rule box. Reveal it and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the best Pokemon search cards of all time, right? Like, it doesn't find rule box Pokemon, which is definitely like something, but a lot of decks are gonna be playing for these for sure. Like, it's
Yeah.
just really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, I saw someone, I think it was Henry, like, I don't have to Ultra Ball for a Dracloak anymore.
Yeah,
Ultra Balling for Dracloak just feels miserable to do as a Dragon Ball player. But now, Pokepad for the Dracloak, pretty strong. Yeah. I mean, so with rotation coming up, we're looking at a search lineup of like Buddy Poffins, Ultra Balls, and Pokepads for decks to work with, really, right?
yeah. When are we getting these cards again? Are these cards in the January set or just gonna be the rotation set?
We don't know
Oh,
because
we actually
these
just don't know.
are a little different because they are like these
Actually,
uh
it probably seems like probably
in
won't be the
between type
January set.
products.
These are releasing in Japan on December 19th. That almost feels like, I mean,
We might not
over
get
a
these for a
month, but
while
yeah. I guess we
because
don't know
these
when the
aren't
January
coming in
set
as
is.
so like when Japan gets a set, it's pretty easy to like copy paste it over to like
Yeah.
when we're gonna get it, right? These cards are coming out in kind of this weird in between thing.
Oh, so they could, like, really screw us over with these
Like
cards,
this, we
actually.
might not get these cards for a year.
That would be criminal. These are some pretty good cards. Like, the Pokepad specifically, we'd be playing a completely different game than Japan if they have Pokepad and we do not. So,
Yeah.
they
Hopefully
better
that's
not
not the case.
they better not do that to us. Alright, well, there's a couple more,
Yep.
new cards as well. Got the Mega Electros and
Yep.
Friends.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the first thing I was going to talk about here with
Oh,
this
sure.
was because these cards are coming out in Mega Dream EX, which is actually coming out at the end of this month. So we're gonna get Phantasmal Flames. We're gonna play with it for 2 weeks, and then Japan's gonna get a new set
Yeah.
and be totally different than us once again. But it's been revealed that there will be brand new owners Pokemon
Yeah.
in this set, which is wild because it's like I don't think you really ever see this where they go back to a mechanic in a new block, right? Like the Mega Evolution block is different from the Scarlet and Violet block.
Yeah.
So it's pretty rare. I can't really think of any instance of this where they're like retroactively going back and adding new cards.
Yeah, and we
And
had
the
talked
only
about it.
reveal here so far is In's Zekrom, which is like a non-EX, but we just see like an art rare version, counterpart to the In's Reshiram. So, I mean, we see this In's Zekrom, but who knows what else there's going to be? A new Iono's Pokemon, a new Ethan's Pokemon, like new Cynthia's Pokemon. There's so many trainers Pokemon that are good, but there's like just not quite enough there
Yeah.
to push it over the edge. Iono, Cynthia, Rockets,
New Team
Inns,
Rocket
Ethan's,
supporter.
like yeah, like who knows?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and this is something like we talked about before. We had completely written off more trainers support. People had asked me in my chat multiple times, like, "Do you think there'll be more support for owners Pokemon?" I was like, "Nope, it's done. It's over," because it always is over. Especially with like a new block. Like that's even like it already felt like even if this block continued, they wouldn't give us more owners Pokemon, which is like fine. Well, I guess we were always waiting on the Kangaskhan and the Pincurchin or whatever. Apparently, I didn't even remember those things existed.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely a shock to see this coming out, more owners Pokemon. And it makes me really excited, to be honest, because all the owners decks, they're close. Like the Team Rockets deck is close to being good. And Zorak was really the only one that
Yep.
really pushed through. And even then, it wasn't like a tier one BDIF deck. It was, it was good sometimes. We've seen it, win a major now at this point. It's pretty good right now in the format, in the metagame. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what else they come out with for other owners Pokemon. I'm hoping there's quite a bit more to see.
I think it's pretty rare that the game in its entire history has really experienced what we've experienced the last like 12 to 18 months, which is basically since Twilight Masquerade came out with Dragapult EX, it introduced this really strong new archetype. Um, there's really not been the introduction of a new tier one deck since then.
Yep, just been Guardian Pult. right?
It's been Guardian Bolt, and I think a huge part of that is because the owners' Pokemon way underperformed to what they thought they
Yeah.
could. Way underperformed. Like, these cards did not live up to it at all. So I almost wonder if this is like sort of like a patch, like, oh,
Mm,
it's not performing as intended. So let's add something into the mix to make them a little bit stronger. And
yeah.
people were doing some kind of sleuthing as well on this Ins Zekrom here, comparing texts between Japanese versions of cards, how this first attack looks like a shred attack based on the length of the text and stuff like that. This is all just theories and stuff as well. The second attack, some amount of damage, we can't quite make it out. They're suggesting 250 potentially. And
Yeah.
then during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. Like that's what it's lining up like. I mean, if that's what this Pokemon's
Dude,
attacks are, that's
it
pretty
better
good for
be
Zoroark.
it better be discard energy and just can't attack next turn. That would be insane. Like, it better discard all the energy attached to it or something. Not being able to attack next turn is, like, not a hindrance to Zoroark at all. Like,
Ins Castle, Pecharunt X,
yeah, I
like
have infinite mobility to work with. It better just and I would synergize with Ends PP up as well, so, like, wouldn't be, like, a huge detriment to the deck either if it worked like that. I'll say one more thing about, like, owners Pokemon in general, but I forget what I was gonna say. Uh, yeah, I lost my train of thought. Um, yeah, I'm excited to hopefully see more of them coming out and hopefully having a big impact because yeah, they were almost there. Oh, it was about the format in general for so long. Yeah, I kind of actually talked about this recently where it's like Guardy's been the best deck for a while. I mean, you could probably make an argument that Golden Go has been like actually like a solid tier one deck.
yeah, but it's like
In for a decent amount of time sometimes, but outside of that, outside of Golden Go, decks have been tier 1 plays for, like, a meta game, but or a tournament, but not, like, a constant, like, Guardian Pulse.
I'm talking about like the
Although
release of a new archetype.
yeah, okay, sure,
We
yeah.
haven't seen that. Like,
Or
yes,
just
Golden
like, this
Go
is it.
got way better because it got Genesect,
Yeah.
right? But
Or, like, on
like
release.
Zekrom EX Electric did not become a meta
Yeah,
deck. Ethan's Mag Cargo, Ethan's Ho-Oh did not become a meta deck, right?
definitely.
Which is like, I mean, since Twilight Masquerade, I mean, we've gotten Terapagos, which had its moment there for a little bit, but
It's
kind of fell to
okay.
the way it can't really be Gardevoir. Like,
Yeah.
uh, I don't know, man.
Good
It's
point, yeah.
it's not because it's not uncommon that like a set comes out and nothing from it ends up like sticking as like a top
Yeah.
tier thing, right? That's not too crazy, but for that to be the case for over a
This
year,
long, yeah.
yeah, is pretty rare.
I
And I
mean,
would
I do
argue
think
maybe has
that
never happened, honestly.
yeah, I think it has a little bit to do with, like, the dynamic of Pult and Gardevoir where, like, Dragapult Dusknoir is, like, I think the most powerful deck, but Gardevoir is the better overall deck and his favorite against Dragapult, but even though we have seen some recent success from Dragapult, usually it's solidly unfavored against Gardevoir. People just won't put Dragapult down. So it's like it's you can't isolate both decks. Like it's like really hard to play a deck like Golden Go, but Golden Go is like the one deck that stands out where it's like this is at times favored against both decks, but it's way easier to beat Golden Go with other stuff than it is to beat Guardy or Pult. So it's like yeah, those 2 decks being as good as they are, and neither one of them really giving in terms of, like, play percentage, makes it, like, really hard for any other deck to really find its footing and compete consistently against them, and potentially be, like, a new tier 1 deck, so the Dragapult and Gardevoir have created an interesting dynamic in the format for, like, a really, really long time, but, I mean, the game's still pretty fun despite that, so they're doing a decent job, and it might take rotation to shake it up, and maybe that's a good thing. Like, hopefully, they don't just like print some broken cards in the dream set, and then it like ruins everything, and then rotation hits, and we're dealing with like this monstrosity that is unstoppable because they
This
really wanted to beat Gardevoir and Pult. Like, let Gardevoir rotate, then we can just isolate Dragapult, and then the meta can like progress from the format can progress from there.
Imagine if they print like a Bibarel, a Team Rocket's Bibarel.
Yeah, like, I don't think we want something like that. We don't need something, like, truly broken to upset the format. We just need, like, a a stream of, like, pretty good cards and let rotation handle Gardevoir, and then we can kind of reassess from there. Um, yeah, like, it could get weird if they print something, like, truly broken to try and overcome those 2 decks. We're so far along at this point, I doubt that's in their plans at all, so we'll see.
We did get a couple other new cards like you alluded to here. Mega Electros EX, spoilers for Pokemon Legends ZA, new Mega Pokemon. Um, and this one's pretty underwhelming here. Stage 2 lightning type Pokemon, Split Bomb for 2 lightning, 60 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, and then Disaster Shock, 3 lightning, 190 damage. You may discard 2 lightning energy from this Pokemon. If you do, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Now, what I have always said whenever we read cards that say paralyze on them, it is like always worth remembering a card that automatically paralyzes your opponent's active because it is like the most powerful status condition in the game by far.
Yeah.
Um, but this one is pretty rough. I mean, 3 energy, it's a stage 2. It feels pretty rough out there for Mega Electros EX.
I'm actually I'm actually on the opposite side of this one from you, to be honest. I think that card's pretty good because it evolves from electric, right? So like you're relying on your deck being good around electric plus other Pokemon probably, but having this guy just like, oh, I can just play this in my deck, right? And you have access to convenient
It's just
paralysis and snipe. Like,
it's
I don't
just a
know.
lot to stream together, right?
Well, I mean, I think
Like
it's like a situational. Like we're talking about like an eel thick deck, like a 4/4 eel deck. Like eventually, if that comes around, then like this is like a cool inclusion. So I think like
okay, sure.
yeah, not thinking about it as a main deck, but thinking about it as like a support attacker one of. Like I think it's like that's pretty high value. When the main part of the deck is electric plus other powerful Pokemon. Um, so yeah, I just wouldn't think about this as being like Electros EX the deck basically. He's more of a supporting cast type fella. And
That's
this is actually
fair.
one of I was gonna say for me, it's really hard for me to tell exactly what this thing looks like. And I know I don't play the games or anything like that. So these are the kind of Pokemon where like when I fully see what it looks like, I'll be like surprised by what this thing fully looks
Do you
like.
wanna
Because from
see it?
this, no, I just want to be surprised when it happens. Don't show it to me.
Whenever you just naturally in life
Maybe there'll be
see a
like a
Mega
full art one.
Electros.
Yeah, there might be a full art one at some point that comes out, and then I'll get a better idea of what it looks like. Because I can't like I can see a lot of it, obviously, but not all of it. So I'm like,
You're
that's
just
what
looking at it
happens
and
with
you're like, "It's
me.
an Electros."
Yeah, like, that's what happens when, like, you only play the card game. I only get to see what the card artwork shows me.
We've got a thick scale here. The dragon Pokemon this tool is attached to takes 50 less damage from the attacks of your opponent's grass, fire, and water and lightning Pokemon.
Yeah. So, usually cards like this aren't that good, but when they're like, "We only reduce damage from specific types, we only deal damage to specific types," but that's a pretty wide range. That's 4 types that you're reducing damage from, like, that's not bad.
They literally put that one ancient trait just like on a tool card. Do you remember that ancient trait? It's like
I don't
fate.
remember it but it was it reduced 20 damage from a couple types? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think it's like Theta Wild or something like that.
Oh, isn't that on the other Mega
It is on the other
Ray?
Mega Rayquaza.
Yeah. I do remember it now. Yeah. So yeah, pretty solid tool. Like that's like a pretty wide range of types to cover. So in any given format or metagame, you could be hitting 2 or 3 decks with that and making a difference.
It is Delta Wild.
Hmm. The return of Delta Wild in tool form, and it's only for dragon Pokemon. Just like, is there some dragon lore here that I don't know about?
Dragons just resist all these types in the games.
Oh, okay. All right. I wonder how they did that. See, this is like the interesting part about the game design for me is like where they just like dragons do this, let's do that in the TCG, or is there more depth to that? I'm sure like the 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 big part is like, do we make it a tool card? Do we make it an item card? Do we make it a supporter card? How much damage does it reduce? But is it really as simple as like, well, in the video game, dragons reduce these types, so let's just put that in the TCG, and then they have to tweak the how much does it reduce and what style of card is it? It could be on an ability, I guess, as well. They could go that route. Um, so sometimes it feels like they leave the video game completely in the dust and don't think about it, and then you hear the people be like, "That Pokemon's not supposed to be weak to that type." It's like, all right,
Yeah.
sure, whatever, buddy. But then they do stuff like this where they're very much following the video game lore.
Joe Brown, one of the VG casters, would always be annoyed by that stuff because he's like a casual TCG fan,
Yeah,
but very into the VG obviously because he's a caster there. I think there's like uh Groudon specifically always has like really weird weaknesses in the TCG compared because I think in let's see what are its weaknesses in the video game. It is weak to water, grass, and ice, and it like Or maybe
on
it
that
was the
track?
Primal Groudon, I don't remember. Yeah, Primal Groudon is weak to grass, I think, and it's not
Yeah,
in the video game. I think that's what it was.
weak to water and ground. But it's not ground? I guess
It
it's not.
is a ground type, but its type
Non-primal.
changes when it primal. Oh,
I mean,
Groudon is just ground, and then it becomes ground fire when it evolves. Primal
oh, wait, what
reverts
was I reading down here at the bottom? Go back to the type chart you were looking at.
right here.
Oh, damage normally by weak to okay.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. Yeah, okay.
Have you ever seen this before?
No. You can be weak to the same type you are? Or is it because it's fire, now it's weak to ground as well?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Okay, sure.
Fire is weak to ground. And then there is one other new one here. Canary trainer card. Basically, just the lore for ZA is so like in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Iono is like a live streamer, right? And this chick is also a live streamer. And she looks just like Iono, so I don't know if it's like she's like copying Iono or anything like that, but she's basically Iono Jr., but her card is terrible. So you have to discard a card to use it, and then you search
Whoa,
deck for
whoa,
four
whoa.
lightning Pokemon,
You think
reveal
this
them,
is
put them in your
terrible?
hand. Is good for a very specific deck, obviously,
Yeah, an eel deck or something like that. Sure, 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 sure.
but
I
like
was gonna say,
even then, I don't know.
dude,
I think it's like probably good, but
live streamers being in the lore of video games feels a little dystopian. Like
yeah,
that, like
it's pretty wild, huh?
her hair's kind of cool. She's got the eel, what's it called? Scrunchies in the hair.
Yep, yep.
Um,
Do you know what Pokemon she uses?
Electros.
Electros, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this card seems pretty good in like an eel deck. Like searching your deck for 4 lightning Pokemon also discards a card, which gives you um lightning energy in your discard pile, possibly. Like,
She's literally trying to be Iono. They're like
dude,
the
I
same
don't see
person.
it. I do not see it. They're just both wearing yellow. I do not see what you see.
Okay, okay.
I think you're reaching on this one. Although I guess they both have
Uh
the things in the hair. What Iono has the Magnemites. She's got the Electrics. Or I guess it's like it could be Electros, right? It's just the mouth of the eel.
mhm.
Like, is her hair supposed to be a Pikachu's tail after that? It's like or is that literally supposed to be an eel?
A good question,
Just
honestly.
all in on investigating her hair now at this point. But yeah, good supporter for lightning decks. But I don't think we have the lightning Pokemon right now that like warrant including this in a deck. But
Yeah.
might get there.
So this set as well is going to be like a reprint set, high class packs, as noted here. So lots of reprint cards.
Yeah.
The electric you mentioned, right, which makes sense. Mega Dragonite, of course, will be in the set, which got revealed. I think at Worlds, right, is when that card got
Yeah.
revealed. I pretty quickly wrote it off after it came out, but I mean, it's fine. But
Yeah. Are we just gonna skip over? There you go. Go up. Dragonair.
these guys, if this I haven't read this card yet, so that's
Okay.
why I
Okay.
just skipped over it.
That makes sense.
Evolutionary Discovery. If this Pokemon has any energy attached to it, you may use this ability. Once during your turn, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck.
Yeah. So I mean that's pretty good. I mean one of Dragonite's obvious partners is Electric. I don't think you'd play Canary with that because that doesn't find enough of your Pokemon. But this is a pretty good card, like as a setup Pokemon. I don't know, Dragonite plus Electric. It's
A little
getting
bit,
more and more power.
little bit of a callback here.
Yeah.
Dark Dragonair didn't have to have an energy on this one though.
No. So a little bit weaker, but that's still pretty good ability for sure. Yeah, we don't have to read the Dratini though.
Yeah, I think that this. I mean, the ability would have been insane if it didn't have the energy requirement thing on it. The energy
Mhm.
requirement thing on it brings it down a pretty big notch, though, I'll say.
What? Do you think so?
Yeah,
Well,
I
I guess you
do.
can't use it as
You can't.
what you
It's
just
not like you can get like 3 of these guys in play and then just get everything you want in your
oh,
deck,
like
right?
chain them. Okay, yeah, you can't chain
It's
them.
not quite like Gabite Dragon Call where you just
Yep,
like
yep.
get everything.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah,
It's
definitely.
definitely, I think it's good,
Yeah.
great, but
I mean,
like,
you'd rather have it than not have it if it's on. Like, yeah, if you're gonna
yes.
have a stage one. I mean, it's no recon directive, but I think you'll take it for sure.
Yeah, definitely solid ability for sure in a Dragonite deck. Yeah, but there's a bunch of cards there. We will get more new cards as well. I know a lot of people were excited about this reveal. There is finally going to be an art rare, a bling version of Dracloak. Um, after talking about him last week, shout outs to Jerky.
Yeah, shout out Jerky for sure. I mean, this is a pretty I like these artworks too, to be honest.
The Dreepy's like chilling for sure.
Jerky's just kinda him. Like,
What did Lorelai think of the Mega Gengar?
she was actually not that big of a fan. I think it actually, this is the first time I am seeing it. I think it looks pretty cool. She did the comparison to the other Mega Gengar where it's, like, eating everything,
Hmm.
and she was like, "That one is just, like, way cooler because he's, like, doing something." But this
Hmm.
artwork is actually kinda sick. I don't know. Yeah, the Mega Gengar artwork is actually pretty sick. I'm a fan. And these ones are coming out in January though, right? We're getting these cards in January?
I don't know that. Do you know that?
No, I mean, that's what I thought it said in the Poke Beach article at the top. Or am I trolling?
Just November 28th in Japan.
Oh, maybe not. Who knows? I thought I saw it somewhere.
Um.
No, maybe not. Who knows when we're getting these?
Oh, it might have been on the other post here where it says, this week we learned we'll get Mega Dreamy X's cards in a special English set
Yes. Okay, yeah.
releasing on January 30th.
Oh, we know the date of it as well. Okay, end of January. And that's we're gonna get we'll get the Reshiram in that as well, though. We know that. That's for the
Well,
Reshirams.
it's in Mega Dream.
Okay.
Should be in our set too.
Okay. All right.
I don't ever
Cool.
want to say we know for sure because, like,
True.
we don't, man. We really
Oh,
don't.
yeah. True, true, true. But like based on the timeline and previous yada yadas, it should.
Yeah. Yeah, very exciting. Can't wait to see kind of what happens with these owners Pokemon. Which owners Pokemon do you most hope gets a new thing to work with
Rockets for
that could make it
sure.
really good?
Rockets. And it could be even in the form of a supporter, to be honest. Like just more depth to the receiver or transceiver or whatever.
I
Also,
think
oh, I was gonna
Rockets.
say
Go ahead.
Canary is actually a big buff to Iono's Belly Bolt. Like that would be a deck because your draw power comes from the Kilowattrel. So just finding Pokemon is like insanely powerful. So without even like an addition of, I mean, maybe you're right, Chip. Maybe that is like there is that crossover there. She's just trying to be just like her, and then they were like, "All right, let's make it good for Iono's Belly Bolt." So it could actually just be good, to be honest. When we get Canary, that's like a lot of Pokemon Surge for that deck. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
definitely
I
rocket
think
stuff.
it seems most like the Pokemon, like the cards that will come out. I mean, it could be some trainer cards. It feels more likely that it'll be Pokemon in some way, and I don't know that like Cynthia's Garchomp, I don't think is missing a new Pokemon to make it better, right? Um,
Mm, it depends what it if it's an ability based Pokemon. You never know, especially if
well,
it's an
what is
ability
it
thing.
missing to push it over the edge to make it strong?
Form of energy acceleration would be kind of crazy,
Like
like a
an
space ball.
ability, sure.
Yeah, like yeah, like any kind of form, like even if it was just like a basic that said when you put this from your hand onto your bench, search your deck for a fighting energy attached to one of your Cynthia's Pokemon. Like so, yeah, some kind of. But I get, yeah, I mean, trainer base acceleration could be good in there as well because like Crispin's kind of weak in the deck. Like it's not great, it's just kind of fine. So I mean, they could do a lot. They could do a lot for sure. I think all the trainers decks could get. I mean, we already know Enzork is getting a buff. Canary definitely buffs Iono's Belly Bolt. Ethan's,
What's it missing?
what is Ethan's missing? Just some form of like
Onboard
consistency.
energy search or something like that, or energy
Honestly,
recovery.
what it's kind of missing is like, yeah, it's missing Pokemon recovery, to be honest. Like some way to just like more consistently chain your Typhlosions. I don't know what that looks like though.
Ethan's, do you remember the evolution Starmie? Discard a card from your hand, go get 2 energy, put them back in your hand
Yeah,
from your
get
deck
to Ethan's Pokemon.
discard. Get 2 Ethan's cards or fire energy or something like that, or basic energy, something like that.
Yeah, and Ethan's already did get a buff with Dawn release, to be honest, as well. Like Dawn is pretty good in Ethan's. Being able to have like a fifth Ethan's after you play your fourth Ethan's or discard your fourth Ethan's to chain your Typhlosions is kind of nice. So
That's Typhlosion specifically. I'm thinking like the Ho-Oh, like what
oh, the
the way
home
it was
cargo.
intended, like
That deck doesn't have bench space, so I don't even know what you could get to
yeah.
make that work. 'Cause that deck's already struggling with bench space, but yeah, it'll be interesting. And hopefully it's not just Reshiram, which I guess could
That would
also
be really
happen.
funny, yeah.
Yeah, they only give us Reshiram. I'm hoping for like a little bit for every trainer deck would be kind of or owner deck. That'd be kind of cool. Like a good card, not just something that's like what was it? What do we get? Arven's. I guess all the Arven stuff just sucks. Like it's
Yeah, you
all
could give them
bad.
who even
He needs a
knows,
lot.
man.
He needs the
Yeah.
whole set. He needs the rest of the owner's Pokemon.
I think the biggest one would be if there was a Rockets Pokemon that had if they gave
Raw
Rockets some
power.
form of onboard draw power. I think that's the biggest thing that archetype's missing, it feels like.
That could be huge, especially if it's something like discard a Rockets card from your hand, draw 2 cards or something.
Yeah.
Be kind of insane.
All right. Well, let's keep it rolling here. We've got Guess That Flavor text up next. But of course, before we do, we got to take a moment to thank Dragon Shield, our fantastic sponsor. Did you see that they sent a card to
Yeah,
space, Azul?
I did see that.
What
That
a
was pretty
stunt,
sick.
huh?
Yeah, definitely. Very, very cool video from Dragon Shield and Shay. Pretty sick.
Shout outs to Shay Burtz. Yep. Yeah, and hey, if Dragon Shield products can protect cards all the way up in the vacuum of space, they can definitely protect them for you at the next regional championships. Be sure to use our code UEPOD. That's UEPOD. Get yourself 5% off, help support us, and get yourself some sweet sleeves that are going to protect your deck.
Yeah, yeah. Be sure to go check them out. Link will be in the description and code UEPOD, like Chip said. All right, Chip, you have a moment here to make up for your previous failures in Guess That Flavor text. I have gotten one right the last 2 times myself.
Honestly, the run you're on is pretty disgusting. What? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So what? In the last four guesses, you've gotten 8 points. That is
Yeah,
an insane rate.
it is pretty good, but you have a moment to make some of that up. You could even actually retake the lead because I'm only up 3 points despite that. And if you get it right without using a lifeline, you'll get 4 for each lifeline you use. 1 less point. The lifelines are what set the card is from, what stage the card is, and then read an attack name. Chip, are you ready for this week's
I
River Attack?
am still upset about last week. I will say that. Yes,
Dude,
Azul, I'm ready. Let's go.
that one was so good. That was the best of them, I think, so far. That was better than the Cobalion for sure. All right. Here we go. It lives on the deep sea floor. It attracts prey by flashing the patterns on its 4 tail fins.
Okay. Four tail fins attracts prey. It's four tail fins. The deep sea floor. I mean, the deep sea floor instantly is making me think of like the Hoenn region and dive and the Pokemon you could encounter down there, like Relicanth and Clamperl, which evolves, of course, into Huntail and Gorbis or Gorbis. So it could be Huntail, possibly. Um, I don't really think it's any of those. I don't know if. Let me hear it again. What's it got on its fins there? Its tail fins.
It lives on the deep sea floor. It attracts prey by flashing the patterns on its 4 tail fins.
For like FOUR.
Yeah,
Okay. I know if it was like four, like the front tail fins or something like that.
that would be
All
a
right.
mistranslation for sure.
Um, I mean, obviously, Kyogre's got patterns on its fins, and I feel like they light up as well. But this just does not sound like a Kyogre to me, like at all. I don't feel like Kyogre's like luring prey, but maybe it is. Um, let me go with what set the card is from here. I will use a lifeline at least.
Set? Is that what you said? You want the set?
Yes, yes, set.
All right. Phantom Forces. I don't know what I was about to say there.
I'm I don't think there's a Kyogre in that set, but I low key do think there is like a Huntail in Gorbis and a Clamperl. I guess it's not necessarily one of those like Hoenn Pokemon I've mentioned. I really just kind of want to get back on the board here, to be honest. Let me hear an attack name.
Water pulse.
I mean, gosh, I cannot like picture. I don't think there's a Kyogre in that set. Four tail fins. The patterns on its four tail fins. I want to say Huntail, but I literally cannot picture like I can picture its big dumb face, but I can't picture the rest of what Huntail looks like in this moment, to be honest. Um, and maybe there isn't one in Phantom Forces, and I'm thinking of the ones that are in because there's got to be one in Primal Clash because Primal Clash came out right after Phantom Forces, and Primal Clash is like the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire set, which is the Hoenn region. So maybe I'm just like totally off base here with going down this Hoenn line. What else could it even be then? Water pulse, tail fins. I mean, like Tentacruel and Tentacool don't have fins, so I don't think it's that. Um, man, trying to think of the rest of the water Pokemon. I think there's a Feraligatr in that set, but I don't think this is Feraligatr or Crocodile or Totodile. Um, I don't know how much the stage would help me. I feel like it's a stage 1 or stage 2, but I don't know if that's really gonna help me here knowing either way. I guess if it was a basic, maybe it would make me think it's Kyogre. I just really don't think there's a Kyogre in the set. All right, I think Azul, I'm just gonna have to lock in with the Huntail guess, I guess. I don't really think there's much else for me to think about here. I'll try to lock in the Huntail for 2 points. Lock it in.
All right. The final lifeline here, the stage. It is a stage 1, but it is not Huntail. It's actually a Pokemon that I forgot was a stage 1 until I saw it. It is Luminion.
Uh I don't really think of this as a Pokemon that's like,
Hunting prey.
yeah,
So I don't know where all 4 tail fins are at.
yeah.
I
I
guess it's
see
the,
two tail fins here. What the heck?
well, it might be the things on the bottom, and there's like 2 on the other side.
Yeah, a little bit of a bummer here, to be honest. There's a different.
Uh,
Maybe the. I bet these are the tail fins. One, two, three, four.
this
That's
is
like
not
what
on
it's.
its tail.
Yeah, I don't think I was ever getting there. Dude, I couldn't. I was picturing this Huntail, this guy, but I was like, it's. I think it's got to be in Primal Clash, but like I couldn't remember for
Yeah.
sure. But
Now that thing has tail fins, many a tail fin.
yeah, but the patterns are on its body. You know,
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pokemon are weird. Maybe they can create patterns on its tail.
I remember people. I remember playing someone on like PTCGO that had a deck with this guy at some point when I first started playing.
How they get the energy in play.
I don't even remember, to be honest.
Honestly, I kind of remember this thing seen playing like a meme deck, but I don't remember either. It
Maybe the
wasn't a,
Gorbis does something. Nope.
it wasn't in a Steam deck, so
Gorbis. Nope. Yeah, I don't know.
well, Chip, no points for you this week, and I have a chance to continue my generational run next week.
Luminion. Come on.
We got some big events this weekend. We got the potentially biggest regional ever, although we'll have to see with flights and everything how many people are actually going to make it to
Yeah,
the event.
that is a whole factor
Um,
for sure.
yeah, we got Las Vegas, and then we also have the special event in Buenos Aires as well. So a lot of Pokemon going to be played for sure.
Yeah, definitely. A lot happening for sure. All, of course, ahead of the Latin America Internationals, first IC of the year. Very excited to see kind of what happens there. It's kind of hard to get too excited for this event, low key, because the new set will be out that weekend, the day before the regionals.
Yeah.
Phantasmal Flames officially releases, but is not legal for tournament play for 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
really wish they would get that kind of sorted.
Especially like even if it wasn't legal at Vegas, like it not being legal at LAIC is kind of
Yeah.
that's like the bigger bummer almost. But it is, yeah. I think it's gonna be really exciting for the people who go because I think it's gonna be a really fun event. Vegas, first event in Vegas, stuff like that. Vegas can be a fun time, even if you're not gambling. So I think it'll be a good event for sure. But yeah, it's a little bit harder to get excited for it with the new set releasing and all that jazz. That is unfortunate. But I think the big question on everyone's mind heading into the event for sure, and to the events is it seems like Gardevoir is lined up pretty well to dominate. The question is, will it? And
Yeah.
I mean, I think it probably will. I think it's things are looking pretty good for Gardevoir right now.
Yeah. So I guess like something to ask here would just be why does it feel like Gardevoir is positioned so well? Like since Milwaukee, I mean, it won the regionals in Belo Horizonte, right, from Gustavo. It did fine in Milwaukee. There was a couple of Gardevoir Jellicents in cut, and then Abon obviously got second with it. Um, but then it didn't really live up to it. There's a couple top cuts at Lille, Gdansk, Brisbane, but really like compared to the success we're used to seeing from Gardevoir, fell pretty far short. I guess maybe the first question would be why did it fall short, and why does it falling short for a couple of weeks make it now seem like it's going to all of a sudden, like, why would it change all of a sudden, right?
Well, I think it definitely has to be with it. Like I don't think it falling short is has anything to do with the decks. Like I said, the best deck in the format. Like I think that hasn't changed, and it's not being like overly teched for or hated on in the current metagame either. I don't think. I think I mean, I think there is rarely is there actually regional differences, but there's definitely a difference when I think I said this last week when Henry Chow and crew roll up to an event than if they don't in terms of Gardevoir's potential success, right? It's not they're
The
not the
glaze is
only they're
insane.
not the only catalyst for Gardevoir succeeding. There was some still in cut in Gdansk in Lille. And it definitely could have probably gone further at both those events potentially. But I think that is a difference maker. I think yeah, I think that is kind of the big that is part of the difference maker, but it's like not even like I think if you resimulate both those tournaments, also Guardy does a little bit better. Well, maybe Gdansk, maybe not Lil. The Guardy players were pretty soft on the Pulp matchup at that tournament, but I think they did adjust going into this tournament this week around. So I mean there still was some pretty good players playing guard for. So it's not like there wasn't good players playing guard for at these tournaments. But I think more top players play Gardevoir in US/Canada. And like I said, that group specifically, like they got the track record. I think we can. It's fair to say that when they show up with Gardevoir, it's going to be there's going to the outcome of the tournament changes pretty dramatically potentially, like more so than any other group showing up to any given tournament. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, but yeah, I don't think its lack of winning tournaments, it still may cut like means that the Gardevoir is not a good play. And even when Gardevoir has a big target on its back, it still wins. And now it doesn't have as big of a target on its back, so it makes it even better. And that's why it feels like it's lined up pretty well to like not just win this tournament, but like dominate the tournament potentially. 'Cause I don't think anyone's really thinking about Gardevoir too hard right now, or it doesn't feel like that anyways.
I mean, I don't think there's any reason to think Gardevoir won't be the most popular deck. It
Yeah,
has
especially
been,
with both archetypes combined, the jelly build and the non-jelly build.
yeah. So, I mean, I think it'd be kind of silly to not be having it at the forefront of your mind when preparing
Oh,
for
sure,
this
sure, sure.
tournament, for sure, right? So, I feel like it's definitely there in people's minds, and they're gonna.
You say that, but Pult will still be 12% of the metagame, and like it'll still lose in top cut to Guardy. Unless the Guardy players do disrespect it again. If they're like playing one TM Evo, no Arvin builds, no research, like we saw that adjustment from Lil to Gdansk, more researches in the list, more TM Evos. But if they go back to disrespecting Pult, Pult taking the tournament wouldn't be a shock. So it kind of is on the Guardy players to still continue to respect Pult. So we'll see if that remains true or not.
Do you think that the Guardy players have any reason to be worried about upticks in Zoark, that deck becoming more popular. Grimmsnarl, of course, still kind of hanging around.
Um,
It seems like Henry Chow thinks they just still lose to Gardevoir, so
I think the Grim isn't like favored against Gardevoir. Like if it is favored, it's not like a very good matchup. It's like close, and that still comes down to playing a decent count of boss's orders as well in Grim. The Zorak matchup specifically, though, that one is definitely um, more favored for Zork, depending on like if it's a Bravery Charm build of Gardevoir or a Jellicent build of Gardevoir, it's closer or worse for Gardevoir. But it's not a terrible matchup if you're playing Bravery Charm Gardevoir. I've seen people argue that it's favored for Gardevoir. I think I'd still give Zork the edge, but not by a lot. And then the Absol deck, like specifically like the other dark deck, I don't think that thing is anything for Guardy to really worry about. I think Guardy is favored into the Absol Mega Kangaskhan deck. And I don't see any of those decks getting super popular. Like we'll probably see Absol and Grim around that 6% mark. And Zorak is like a deck that is just no matter how good it feels, no matter it even won, like it won Pittsburgh, but it's like still like a 3% meta deck. And I think it'll
I think
kind of
it's going to
stay
be
at
more
that point.
popular for this event. I think it's
Caught fire finally,
it's
or
caught fire. That's a good way to say it for sure. I think we'll see like a 5% Zork this event. Like I think it might make the graphic at like the 6th spot.
all right, yeah. Well, we'll see. I guess there has been time for people to adjust a little bit more. Like people from Lille to Gdansk weren't gonna just all of a sudden pick up Zorak, despite its like solid finishes from Gabriel and Piper. Like people weren't just gonna jump ship last minute to Zorak. But now, post Lille, they've had a couple weeks as we're getting around to Vegas, more time for people to adjust and actually commit to playing Zorak. So I could see that being true for sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to be too surprised if I know we said it a couple weeks ago, and we're saying it now too, that it's set up nicely for Gardevoir, but I'm not going to be that surprised if it doesn't do incredibly well at this event. Like, I'm sure one of the guys from that super strong testing group will make it through regardless, but that's kind of
Yeah.
been what we've seen, right? Like, a Bonds made it through a couple tournaments, but I mean, we haven't seen like Henry or Davidson, like any of those other guys in their testing group really kind of
They've only had one
pop
tournament, right?
through.
It's just been Milwaukee, right? Because they
Pittsburgh.
did, yeah, but they were pretty dominant at Pittsburgh, right? They had
Yeah,
3,
sure.
or there
And
was
it's a
like
different
just,
format too.
yeah. And then oh my
There was
gosh,
two
why
of
is
them in
blank?
cut, Rahul and Aban.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, and then Monterey, Abon won, right? And they dominated that tournament. So it's just been like the last couple
Oh
tournaments.
yeah,
They haven't had the chance to prove themselves post Milwaukee. But you're right, Milwaukee, for their standards, Milwaukee was maybe a little lackluster. I guess you could make that argument for sure, right? Um, so we'll see what they can do this weekend. I assume most of them are going, if not all of them are going. Well, I guess depending on flights and canceled, maybe.
Enamorous or no?
Nah, there's no way. Like this car, like this deck, this gets bodied by Poltnor. Poltnor just like farms this list for sure. So I don't think they're going to be disrespecting Polt. But we'll see.
Well, considering this conversation here, which dark deck do you feel like is the best play for this weekend? It seems like
Probably,
probably the one that does the best into Gardevoir, right?
yeah. Which Zorark, I think. Well, no, Zorark. Yeah, I would go Zorark. Yeah, and I think that would be like the one. Like if I was picking a dark deck, I'd be playing Zorark. How I'd be playing it, I'm not sure. You're kind of torn between two things right now. Like there are Manatan that Piper played is really good for Bravery Charm Gardevoir, which will probably be the most popular build of Gardevoir. But you got to respect Golden Go right now for sure. I think Golden Go is going to be super popular at this tournament. It might even over. Actually, has it surpassed Dragapult the last couple tournaments? I don't think it has, but I could see it being second most popular for sure. Actually, I'd make that bet. I'd bet Golden Go is second most popular behind Gardevoir. Uh, definitely. If it hasn't already been recently, I think it's been close. I'm looking at Gdansk here. It was close, 13.15 and 13.09. So Golden Go is
I would
just
look at what it
trailing.
was in Milwaukee here first.
Sure.
Like how big
Oh, it was number 2 in
it
Milwaukee.
was number 2 in Milwaukee.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, Golden Go is going to be big. So that makes me think like Darmanitan does not beat Golden Go. Like you're solidly unfavored against Golden Go even with Darmanitan. Gives you a better chance than having nothing. But I think you want to go the Toad Scroll route, or because I don't think making our way back to Cornerstone makes a whole ton of sense right now. So, um, yeah, but I think Zork's probably the route to take for
And
sure.
I think the Golden Goals, they probably will keep their answers to Cornerstone in for this
Yeah,
event.
I mean the
Even
Maul is
if,
just so good in the deck that
yeah.
yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people are gonna be playing like basically the Magda 60 plus or minus secret box for Prime Catcher.
Well, and that's our next topic here is, has Golden Go's identity been solidified, would you say?
I think so. I still want to have hope for Energy Search Pro Golden Go, like just to have like some parity in like the what Golden Go build is best right now, and like what are
Ooh, that's a good word there, buddy.
the
Some
what are the
parity.
what are the values of ESP versus the Soul Rock Lunatone? But I think Soul Rock Lunatone is just so much better. Being able to play through the one prize board state, extra draw power, how efficient the draw power is on board. Yeah, I think it's just too good. And yeah, the Mawile, I think you should probably be playing Mawile. I think it's just like too good to not play. It's not just good against Cornerstone. And we see there's not even the Turbo Energize in this list from Daniel. So that would be like the other card to like include if you really were trying to hone in on countering Cornerstone, would be playing the Turbo Energize. But yeah, the Mawile is just kind of good. So yeah.
Um, all right, well, a couple questions here then for Golden Go. Which A spec?
Um, when I went into testing Daniel's list, I felt like the secret box was going to feel super fraudulent. But after playing with it, it does feel pretty good. There was definitely situations where it kind of carried me when I found it, but there was also situations where I was like, Prime Catcher is really good here, but I didn't
Yeah.
lose those games. Like it wasn't like, oh, I lost because I can't Prime Catcher this turn. It's like, okay, I just have to do something different, and we have a ton of Gust. We still have 4 Boss's Orders. But the secret box basically turned unwinnable situations into winnable situations. The lack of Prime Catcher didn't turn an unwinnable situation into a winnable situation. So it's close, but I think I'm on Team Secret Box for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, my thoughts would have been, I would lean more towards Prime Catcher, but
Yeah, it's definitely
that's
one of those
me
things when
with
you yeah,
0 games saying that, you know?
and that's how I felt with 0 games.
Yeah,
I looked at
yeah.
the I was like, "Do we really need this secret box in here?" Like, it is like, when you play with the deck, when you play secret box, it doesn't feel as good as when you played secret box in Gardevoir or even that Golden Go build with the Rev of Room that played secret box. Like, it secret box felt way more impactful in both those decks, but I think it still edges out the Prime Catcher just slightly. There might be, like, some matchups where you want Prime Catcher more, that could be more popular at Vegas than they were previously, but I don't know those matchups off the top of my head, so, like, that could still be a judgment call to make for Golden Go players for sure.
Another question would be, um, what's the supporter? Lana's Aid, yes or no?
I think no, just because Jelly Guardy doesn't seem that Jelly Guardy, like, theoretically gets a little bit better because of Golden Go, but it's also worse because of the dark decks. Um, so I think the Jelly Guardy is just like not that good of a play. Because on top of, we didn't mention this dark deck, but Charizard I think is seeming to be a really good play for this tournament. So I don't think you want to be playing Jelly Guardy. I think you need to be playing the Bravery Charm Guardy, and I'd go as far as saying I would maybe even consider Tool Scrapper and Charizard. Just you just beat the Bravery Charm Guardies, and there's no like it's not like a sketchy back and forth because that matchup isn't like that dominant for Charizard. It feels like a lot of the time. So yeah, I would say Lana's Aid no, just because Jelly Guardy seems bad, and that's like the main matchup. Unless I'm missing a matchup where Lana's Aid is like really good, I don't think I am though. Like it feels like it's kind of just for Jelly Guardy having the more aggressive Super Rod or Night Stretcher, which I know Daniel is like says I think he said on Twitter that Super Rod is just bad. Like you should just be playing Night Stretcher, or he's like all in on Night Stretcher for the rest of the format. Even so, do with that what you will. I don't know which one's for sure better personally. I think you should go. I think I would go as far as saying though that I think I would tech for the Golden Go Mirror. I would play the Premium Power Pro or even play the Cramorant because the early game, if neither of you start a 2 prize Pokemon, then it just becomes a Soul Rock war until someone runs out of Soul Rocks. So that's another reason that the Night Stretcher is worse than the Super Rod. You have less Soul Rocks, but if you play the Cramorant, you just always win the Soul Rock war. So that would be something to consider for sure. And I think if I was playing Golden Go, I think I would definitely tech for the mirror match. I don't know what the best tech is though, but I would have grind some games and figure it out.
Is Flareon a real contender, or is it just a pet deck for those people who have committed a lot of time to it?
I think it more falls under kind of like the pet deck category because I think it's like a fine deck. Like playing like a Flareon or a Terra box, like they're fine. Obviously, could make top cut. I even almost like put Grimmsnarl in that category, to be honest. Like, I just don't think Grimmsnarl is that good. I think it's like a fine deck. I think Flareon's in that kind of same category of fine decks, and you could go far, top cut, no problem, win the tournament even. But it's not a Guardy, it's not a Pult. I think, and it's not like a super well. I think like Charizard and Zoroark are like well positioned. They go like all decks can go in and out of the range of just kind of being like it's a fine deck. If it's the deck you know the best, you should probably play it. To oh, it's a really good play right now. Like we even like kind of talked about earlier, like or I mentioned earlier, like Dragapult and Gardevoir are like the two big decks for a long time. No other deck has really been as good as they are for as long as they have, but they come in and out of being like really good plays to like fine plays. I think Flareon is just kind of fine right now. Nothing super special.
We've already talked about both of them a little bit, but the last decks we wrote down to talk about really are Dragapult and Charizard, kind of the last of the big stage twos. Which one do you prefer?
Definitely Charizard. It's not even close. I don't even think I think Dragon Ball just like a bad play for this tournament. Like I think it was like I think Dragon Ball got like I didn't really I don't want to say it got lucky because I hate using the word like luck, like but like its results at Lille are not like an expectation for future tournaments in this format. The Guardy players got caught slipping, they got punished. I don't think they're gonna get caught slipping again unless Dragon Ball falls dramatically in popularity. I think Charizard is just well positioned. um, the pulp matchup, you have to decide whether or not how hard of a pulp matchup you want to take. I mean, I'd be playing the Psyduck, but I also wouldn't be playing Dusknor. So if you're playing Dusknor, you're not playing the Psyduck, and then your pulp matchup gets pretty bad. But I think that's like a fine bad matchup to take right now for sure. Uh, oh, and another reason to play the Tool Scrapper as well is like it deals with like other things like the Hero's Cape in the Zoroark deck and stuff like that. So
Or
if
an
you're looking
opposing
for
Charizards?
yeah, their take away their maximum belt or the hero escape in the Charizard. Yeah, if they're playing
Yeah,
against the
yeah.
Charizard, yeah, Tool Scrapper is just like I think it's like for this weekend specifically, it like is lining up pretty well. Like I would definitely try and fit it in my Charizard deck if I was going to the tournament. If I, like now the question is whether or not I could actually find the room for it. Like you want to play a lot of things, but you can't fit everything last minute.
And probably just a couple other decks here looking at tournament results we could just talk about real quick. I mean, I guess one would be Sarah Ledge. You just want a online event with it. You still feel like it's solid in the meta right now? I mean, it's one that I really like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a reason. Like it's one of those things where I definitely like the tournaments keep happening, people keep not playing it. But I think it kind of falls under the same category of kind of like it's like a fine play. It's nothing super special because the Gardevoir matchup is still tough. But I think all your other matchups besides that are like fine to good. Like the Gardevoir matchup is the one matchup I feel like really holds the deck back still. And if anyone has like been playing with my list or is like going down a similar route, you definitely need more bosses orders to be able to keep up with Gardevoir. Like two bosses orders against most matchups is like more than enough, but against Gardevoir, you need to find that thing as soon as possible and start picking off two prizers as quickly as possible. So
Yeah.
like my list was that I played at the online tournament. I had the jamming tower in there specifically for Gardevoir, but I think you have to go further. I think you need that third boss alongside it. Also, as far as Charizard goes, I like the idea of Tool Scrapper a little bit more than jamming tower, but jamming tower might be the move. Especially because like having another stadium bump for Watchtowers against Zoroark is like kind of cool. And I guess I can't come up with a strong reason why. I think I had reasons previously why I thought Scrapper was better, but to be honest, jamming tower still might be the move. Oh, the Absol matchup as well. Getting rid of their Bravery Charms is nice. And I guess it also bumps their Lively to have the jamming. So that might be the better way to go than Scrapper, to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it.
And then one other deck. I mean, we talked about Flareon, but there's also been, some success from Terra Box.
Yeah.
Is there a reason to play one over the other? And which one is better?
I actually don't know. I'm like so under experienced with both of the decks in the current format. Like we've obviously seen more top cut placements from Terra Box, but I think we've seen Flareon in the finals. We haven't seen Terra Box in the finals. So and you definitely could argue Flareon is way less played. Flareon has definitely been the more successful deck because you always want to like apply play rate, right? Terra Box is way heavier played and had hasn't gone as deep, has had more top cuts, but doesn't account for the play rate difference. So Flareon's been more successful. I mean, between the two, Terra Box is like all the cool things you can do with Terra Box right now, though, are like it feels like almost like it's a little bit underexplored. We see people with the Hoopa, the Absol, Mega Kangaskhan, like the Mega Mawile. Like there's so many things you can play in here. How do you even know what's right or what else there could be out there to actually include? So yeah, it feels like maybe it's a little underexplored. There could be some more depth to it, which is always like an advantage that if you can come up with something cool that's good, not just cool, then that's like another edge to gain in a tournament. Whereas it feels like Flareon's kind of figured out. Like the list from Emma, I think is just like super refined and like super good. Everything makes so much sense in the deck. So there's a little bit less to come up with as far as that goes.
All right, well, let's make some predictions here, buddy. So we do have two events going on, Las Vegas and Buenos Aires, the special event. We're gonna make predictions for both. Um, First one, pick a player to make top cut.
Yeah, I want to pick a player for Buenos Aires, but because it's also a special event, I don't even know who's going to be there. I could also see some of the Latin American players going to Vegas instead because there is money to be won. Also,
Yep.
Vegas is maybe like a first time in Vegas for some of the players as well potentially. So I'm going to go with the only correct answer. I'm going with a Bon to get another top cut, but he is going to lose in top four to Henry Chow.
Oh, okay. So we're not gonna do a player to make cut in Buenos Aires.
We want to do one of
Um,
each, or I thought we were going to pick one. Oh, we could do one of each.
well, that's what we literally did
Oh,
last
I
time
thought
there
we were
was
just
two tournaments on the same
yeah, I thought
weekend.
you just wanted to do like pick a player to make top cut between the events.
Literally when we did this exact same
Yeah, I
prediction
know. We did
2
that.
weeks ago.
Yep, yep, yep. Thank you, Chip. All right, well now give me a second here because I have to do
It's fine. I'll go ahead and make my Vegas pick while you are thinking here. And for my Vegas pick, I'm gonna go. I'm pretty sure I saw that he was going. I have to assume he is. I'm gonna go with Brent Tonneson. I feel like you always pick Brent, to be honest, for these things. So,
Brent is one of my go-tos.
and then while you're thinking about um, Buenos Aires, I'm gonna predict the Argentina goat, Diego.
That's who I was gonna pick. See, it's so hard to make a prediction for this one because it is a special event. So if the player, it wouldn't be a shock if less players show up, and also, like I said, some of them could be making their way to Vegas instead.
Mhm.
I'll go with Marcos Cifuentes, though. Yeah.
Solid pick. All right. Next prediction. How many Dusknor will there be in cut? So that could be amongst Charizards, could be amongst Dragapults. It could be, Greninjas. Who knows? How many Dusknors do you think there'll be in cut across both events?
Across both events, I mean, I think Charizard will do pretty well. I personally wouldn't play Dusknoir and Charizard, but I don't think it's a bad way to play it. Could even be the better way to play it, and that's the way most people are going to play it. But all the decks only play one Dusknoir, right? No one's playing two Dusknoir in any of these decks. Charizards have one Dusknoir. I'm just gonna go check Hermione's list real fast just to confirm that. Yeah. Let's go with. I don't have that much faith in Pult. I'm gonna go with 3 Dusknoir across both events. I mean, if there's like some top 16s that happen, which is actually going to
Yeah.
be interesting. I'm curious to see how many players there are in the cut here for Vegas. But I'm gonna go 3 Dusknoirs total. I got no faith in Pult, and I'm personally a big fan of Charizard, no Dusknoir. I don't know how many other players are going to be piloting
Yeah. I
that,
mean,
but I have faith in them.
I think it's pretty unlikely to see Polt win this weekend, but I don't think it's unlikely to see a couple get into
For sure,
to
yeah.
cut. And I don't think it's unlikely to see a couple Charizards make it in either across two tournaments. So I think my prediction is going to be 5 here across two
Yeah.
tournaments. Pretty decent shot. At least one of them. One of them will probably be like 9, 10 players, but decent shot with the way tournaments have been going. One of them will be like 14 players or something like that. So I'm going to go with 5 here.
Yeah, I'm
Thinking
really
it'll be a
playing.
bigger
I'm,
number.
I'm really praying on Pult's downfall for sure. Going
Have been
down.
for a while.
This is true.
Azul's least favorite deck. And next, final prediction here. How many decks in cut will have a mega Pokemon?
Yeah. So the
So you
main
got to think
one,
about the.
Absol deck is of course the one that comes to mind, but some Zoroark decks play Absol. The Mega Mawile, Mega Gardevoir has popped up, but not recently in the Gardevoir builds.
Yep.
Man, this is honestly a tough prediction to make over 2 tournaments.
Yep.
I definitely don't expect Absol to have as good of a tournament this weekend as it did in Brisbane. There might be a couple, like 2 max in cuts. There
I
definitely
do
be,
think there's gonna be a lot of Japanese players in
Vegas.
Vegas, and I think
Ooh,
that I mean, based on Brisbane, that's, like, what
yeah,
most of the Japanese players played was Mega Absol, so
definitely. I think a decent amount of golden goes, like maybe 50% plus will have the Mega Mawile. I'm gonna just go with, uh, 2 tournaments. Let's go 6. 6 decks will have a
6.
Mega Pokemon.
It's a lot, it's a lot.
Hoping for
Yeah,
some
I mean,
rain,
I
like
think
a
that's
tank
banking on a couple
Kangaskhan.
of Mega Absol to get in there for sure, like, in like, one at least one in each tournament probably, or, like, probably at least 4 of those 6 are gonna be Mega Absol, right, is what you would think?
Maybe 6 is a little high. Give me, you're right, that's a little high. 1, 1, 2.
Well, I don't know, I mean, it depends on how many like, if it's 4 if it's, like, 3 Absol Kangaskhan and then, like,
Golden Go or
2
2.
2
Alright, let's stay
Golden
with
Go,
6. I'll stay with my
and
6,
then,
yeah.
like, one of the Gardevoirs has a Mega Guardy, right? Like, that's
Sure,
not
I'm down. Let's keep the
it's
6.
but I'm gonna go with that same thought process, but I'm gonna cut out the Mega Guardy. Honestly, I've been hating on the Mega Absol deck. I feel like it's gonna be exposed this weekend. No Mega Absols in cuts in Vegas.
That's like a
Brisbane was a
3 then.
fluke. So, yeah, maybe it's just, like I might just go honestly,
2?
I'm gonna say 2.
1?
2.
Alright.
On actually, I'm gonna go 3, but they're all gonna be Mega Mawile in Golden Go.
That's not a
Little
terrible
little
prediction.
extra layer.
Alright, sounds good.
Okay, well, Azul, that is going to do it for our episode this week. You got anything else you want to say before we get out of here to our bonus episode?
No, I'll be, doing, like I mentioned, 12-hour stream, separately stream Phantasmal Flames over on my live stream. Gonna be giving away a booster box of Phantasmal Flames over there during the stream, and then I'll be watch partying Vegas over the weekend as well. Maybe tune into some of the Asian tournaments, depending on what time the streams happen and if they actually have streams. But I hear they might, they have in the past, so we'll see about that. But yeah, I might tune into some of that action as well. And they're actually playing, I believe, they're playing with the Mega Gengar and Diancie cards. So they are playing, they're taking the fake format and they're actually competing with it at their tournaments, I believe. Because Juancho was in my chat the other week and he was like, "Do you think like what do you think about the impact of these cards or something like that?" And I give him my thoughts, but so he was playing in one of those tournaments either this weekend or last weekend. I'm not sure. I
I
don't
think he
remember,
played
but
this past weekend. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, send us out, Chip.
Yeah. Thanks a bunch as always for listening. And if you do enjoy the podcast, as always, please be sure to leave us a like, a review, rating, comment, subscribe. All those things help us out a bunch. Let people know you're enjoying what you're listening to and help more people to discover the podcast. And if you want to keep up to date with us, the best place to do it is over on X. You can follow myself at Chip Ritchie, Azul at Azul_GG. You can also follow the podcast at Uncommon_Energy.
Appreciate the support as always, and we'll catch y'all next Wednesday, 7 a.m. Eastern.